third-year medical student.
Hi, my name is Kaushik and I'm a year 3 medical student.
Hi, I'm Chester, I'm a 4th year medical student. Thank you. So, how many hours do you spend studying every day? Right, so the number of hours I spend studying is quite variable, usually quite mood and exam closeness dependent. I try to study about 1 hour a day, whether it's learning new information or reviewing information that I've learned throughout the day. I also try to study a little bit on the weekends, but I usually save it for socialization and spending time with friends and family. I recently started listening to some medical podcasts while exercising. So really, you can get the time to study in if you really want to.
So I think the number of hours I study every day is highly dependent on what activities I have on that day, as well as how tired I am. So on some days I have clinicals, then afterwards in the evenings I have dance rehearsals. So on those days I'll mainly go home and rest. And I try to squeeze in more studying on the weekends so I have more time, as well as to make use of in-between time. So for example, if I'm taking the MRT from one end of Singapore to the other and I have a lot of time in between, then I'll try to read some notes on my iPad or my phone. Yeah, so I think although the absolute number of hours spent studying is important, consistency is also something that I prioritize, and I think it's better to do a little every day so that you don't lose track.
It's quite inversely proportional to how close I am to the exam. So if it's very far away, it's probably 0, but if it's a week or 2 days away from exam, it's closer to 8 hours. I have a no studying on weekend policy, so I like to do other stuff. And apart from that, I feel like most of my learning is done outside of studying. So when I'm playing sports or hiking in the woods, spending time with friends and doing other stuff, that's when most of the learning occurs.
What do you do outside of studying? So outside of studying, I have 2 main interests. I like to write poetry and I also like dancing. So for poetry, it's more of an ad hoc thing. I write as and when I feel inspired, and sometimes I'll submit my poetry to anthologies or literary magazines. So for the dance side, I actually dance with 2 CCAs in school. NES Ensemble, which is the Asian Dance Fusion CCA, as well as NES Synergy, which is a contemporary dance group. And outside of school, I'm also under the Pulse program by Frontier Danceland. So it's a weekly training program by company artists from Frontier. And I've grown a lot and learned a lot from the technique classes, such as feeling more connected and rooted to the ground, or even things like artistry and personal expression.
So I play a bunch of sports. I play cricket for the varsity team. I play football and dodgeball for medicine. I also play golf, MMA, boxing, running, hiking, a lot of sports in my free time. And I also do diving and free diving during the holidays. Apart from that, I enjoy writing. I also love to read books, and I like to backpack. So interesting thing is I backpacked in school before COVID. Yeah.
So I split my time between volunteer work and various personal pursuits. In terms of volunteer work, I was in Trigen from M1 to about mid M4. I was in logistics and marketing. I also do some work with scouts. I work with youth between the age of 11 to 17 every Sunday. We do various things like hiking, outdoor cooking, and camping. In terms of my personal life, I do some meditation. I enjoy practicing mindfulness. Occasionally, I do some poetry writing as well. And I do enjoy it when I get some time alone to do a personal retreat or so.
Must everything you do outside of academics be related to medicine in some way? Absolutely not. I feel like the broader it is, the further away from medicine it is, the better for me. Personally, I think when you're able to grab concepts that are far away from medicine, it relates to how you see medicine in the future. So for instance, I picked up diving as a leisurely activity, but what I learned through diving, for instance, about respiration, came in very useful when I was studying respiratory physiology, and like I was able to apply the concepts a lot faster. And also, when I'm traveling, I come across alternative or complementary medicine such as Ayurvedic, Siddha, TCM, or even traditional Mexican medicine.
A great deal of what I do outside medicine is meant as stress relief from medicine. So in general, I don't want to be constantly reminded of medicine when I'm trying to relax. But I view the lessons that I've learned as a toolkit to be brought with me wherever I go. So I bring my medical knowledge along with me when I visit the homeless, and I bring the need to understand lived experiences with me when I visit patients.
I think not really, but it's very interesting and fulfilling to see how things unintentionally tie in and echo with each other.
Between the holy trinity of sleep, social life, and academics, which two have you prioritized and why? So I've actually prioritized my sleep and my social life. Between caffeine and 3-hour naps, I think I scraped up enough sleep here and there. When I was in SGH internal medicine, I used to take frequent lunchtime naps because I was quite dead after rounds. As an extrovert, I need my social life to be half decent, otherwise I really can't get any motivation to study the whole week. And on the other hand, my academics are a little iffy sometimes, I will say, but I feel that if I can get the fundamentals right and the concepts clear, I can worry about the nitty-gritty details later on. Plus, my memory is so-so, and the final points are a bit lost on me either way.
I think it's actually quite a difficult choice to make, but if I were to prioritize one among the three, I would say it's sleep, because I feel like sleep underpins the foundation of a lot of things you do. So if you're tired, you cannot study well. You're tired, your social life will also be likely affected. So I think as a medical student, I try my best to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Yeah, and hopefully this will help me be more energized and prepared for the next day.
Definitely sleep is number one. I sleep from 9 to 5 every day, and that comes in as the top priority, no doubt about that. After that, I would put academics under a category of learning. So I don't like to call studying or academics as like a category, but rather learning. So wherever I go, I try to learn a little. So that's probably number 2. And lastly, it's going to be social life, as my friends can tell you based on like how long I take to reply them. Yeah.